You guys, this may be the fastest that I've ever grown to love a band. I don't think I've ever had such a fast experience of really enjoying a band like I have with this one. Hello everybody, welcome to Josh Dell'Aria's Musical Escapades. My name's Josh Dell'Aria, your host, and today I'm super excited. I have a brilliant new band called Snarls to bring to you guys today. Snarls is based out of Columbus, Ohio, much like Bummers. If you guys remember, I reviewed Bummers a few weeks ago. Snarls from the same place. I don't know if they know each other, but it's still pretty cool for that to happen. And Snarls actually they released an EP back in 2018, but they released their debut full length here just about a month and a half ago, early March. I found it a couple weeks later on Under the Radar magazine, and it's been super awesome to listen to them over these last few weeks. And the band consists of 4 members, Chloe White on vocals and guitar, Riley Hall on bass and guitar, Nick Martinez also on guitar, and the only guy in the band, Max Martinez, on the drums. Now, in describing their style of music on their website, they say that they are pioneers of what they call glitter emo alt rock. I'm not quite sure what that means, but they sound really awesome, so I'm not quite sure that it's much of a concern for me. I also went ahead and watched one of Snarls' music videos, and I was really impressed by how much they were smiling and it looked like they were having a really genuinely great time putting all that stuff together. So it really tells me that the band is like really in the right place doing what they're doing. And I love that about musicians. When they're really genuine and they're excited and having a great time, I think it makes their music so much better. So I'm going to go ahead and play this song 20, which is on their debut album. And I do have to warn you guys, there is one little swear word in this song. So if you guys are under 18, please do me a favor and grab a parent, pause the video here, go and grab them, and let them watch this with you. And I think you guys will come to find that you will probably like it just as much as I have in these past couple weeks. So let me go ahead and play the song here for you. Again, it's called 20. It's Snarls. All right, so one of the first things I want to comment on is, I don't know if you guys noticed, but the song is actually under 3 minutes long. So as I've mentioned before in a couple other reviews, Usually the average length of a song is about 3 to 5 minutes long. So whenever whenever a musician makes a song that's outside of those parameters, either shorter or longer, it generally catches my attention pretty well. I always kind of wonder why they do that. Um, Most of the time, if it's short, the key is it's a little bit more of a challenge. You have to get your lyrics condensed to the point where you're still able to express everything that you need to in a song without leaving anything out. So in this case, it really begs the question of, did Snarls do enough with this song and with their lyrics and with their music to effectively communicate the message that they were trying to communicate? So let's look into these lyrics a little bit. So the funny thing about this song is that Snarls only has about 10, I guess 10 and a half lines of lyrics is probably what I would say. And two of those lines, one of them they repeated 3 times, and another one they repeated twice. So they're not really like saying a whole heck of a lot in terms of just variety of lyrics. But that's not so much what matters. I think what matters more so is, again, just the effectiveness of communicating that message. And so as I'm looking in here at some of their vocabulary, let me scroll down here to the lyrics. So things like, 20 seems further than it ought to be. That line is really, really amazing, because I don't know if I've ever heard anybody design lyrics in that fashion, like a line of lyrics in that fashion. I just think that the way they put that together is really, really powerful and also very original. So that, having lyrics like those in a song that only has a little bit of lyrics, that can really make a huge difference. You don't necessarily need a lot of stuff, but the stuff that you have in there just has to be really powerful, and that's really powerful. The other thing I'm looking into here is the chords, and I'm gonna go ahead and play these here real quick, just so you know what I'm talking about. I'll play it at the very beginning of the song here, where they're most audible. So the weird thing about these chords is that most of the time when you have a chord, it's built on the first, third, and fifth of the chord. That's first, third, and fifth there of an A flat chord. And so there are times when you can kind of add colors to it and you can make different things out of that. So with the first, third, and fifth, you can add a seventh, for instance. And it makes it sound very interesting, very different. And you can add those sevenths in different ways, and then you can also do other things like a ninth, or what I think, or at least what I thought at the beginning in this case, was an 11th. I was hearing actually the fourth note of that A flat scale, this D flat here, so it's A flat, B flat, C, D flat. I was hearing that in the chords they were playing, and that threw me off quite a bit, because a D flat is the fourth of the scale, and it's not really supposed to be involved in an A flat chord unless it's like a suspension, where you're usually like alternating the C. But I could also hear the C in there as well, with that D flat. So I was like, what the heck are they doing with these chords? But I think I figured it out. So I think they're playing this. And it's really interesting because I'm not really sure what to call those chords, but it's a really innovative type of thing to do, and it's something that not a lot of musicians do. So I was thinking it was 11th chords, but 11th chords sound a lot funkier, and the reason why that happens is because they usually involve a flat seventh, which is really weird musical jargon term for the seventh note of the stage, one lower than that, but there was nothing resembling a seventh note in those chords that seemed like it would have fit. So I was like, it just seems interesting and odd, but it's a really cool thought, and it just makes a really awesome sound. And they just kind of alternate between these two chords, this one here, and as they take it up, I think it's like a step here. I think this is what they're playing. The other chord. They pretty much alternate between those two chords the entire song. which is interesting because it's odd that they don't deviate from it, but at the same time, I think it's plenty to give your listener a good kind of jolt and something they just wouldn't have expected. To be clear, I think these are a good thing. I don't know if Snarls was even aiming for this effect, but I think it's really, really pleasant. It sounds awesome. It sounds a lot to me like major seventh chords, and I have a real fondness for major seventh chords. I just love the way that they sound. They sound so pleasing and calming, and this really reminds me quite a bit of them. So the fact that Snarls did this and created these really awesome and interesting chords is a really awesome thing. Okay, so in general, the song is kind of bopping along and it's been pretty quiet up until about the end of the second verse when we hear this. Yeah, stop right there. This is the linchpin to the entire song. Without this part being in the song, this song would be awful. With it, it is excellent. See, what they're doing is, whoever's singing lead for the song, I'm not sure if it's Chloe or Riley on this, but whoever's singing at that point in the song jumps the octave. So if you were kind of nodding off or losing attention for the song, that's going to pull you right back in because they're doing something interesting. And then they give you a 2-beat pause, and then they slam on that chord. And they keep the energy up from there until pretty much almost the end of the song. And that's like the most important part of the song. So that's when they really need to have your attention. And I think that's incredible. Just the way that they do that is really, really amazing. It's super interesting, and I absolutely love it. So would I say that Snarls used their less than 3 minutes for a song? Well, yeah, I definitely would. So we've come to the end of another review of another 2020 song, and as my fans know pretty well, I don't know how much the band knows about this, but as you guys all know, that every time I come to the end of a song review for a song in the current year, I always give my outlook about whether I'm going to nominate the song for the top 20 or not. And as you guys know, if the song's nominated for the top 20, it has a chance. If it's not, it has no chance. So I don't see how I could talk this glowingly about a song and not nominate it for the top 20. So I'm going to go ahead and nominate this song for the top 20 because it is really, really incredible. And I wouldn't be surprised to see this in the running for number 1. It's not very often that new bands have gotten a number 1 spot, but it has happened before. It's totally possible, so you never know. But I definitely think this song deserves a chance at that top 20 at the very least. And again, no guarantees that it's going to make it on, but if I'm nominating it, it has a chance. So I'll definitely put that out there. Alright, that's all I have on this song for you guys. Thank you all for watching. I want to give a big thank you to Joe Urban for letting me use the music here for Snarls. And if you guys want to check Snarls out, I highly encourage you guys to do so. Go to their website, snarlsmusic.com. And I'll also put their social media links down in the description, as I do for everybody. And as always, if you have some amazing music you really want to share with the world, or if you know anybody who has awesome music, please do let me know about it. You can email me here at joshdell'Ariasmusicescapades@gmail.com. You can throw it down in the comments below as well, or you can message me on Facebook, where I'm at facebook.com/JoshD'sMusicalEscapades. And by the way, if you guys haven't checked out my Facebook page, you definitely should. Because sometimes you might hear a song that I'm going to feature here on the YouTube channel before I feature it here on the YouTube channel. Like I did with this one a couple weeks ago. It was on my Facebook page, and now it's here. So, if you go over there, you might actually find some music that I might feature here later, and you might get an opportunity to listen to it before I even put it on here. Thank you all again for watching. Until next time, go make great music, everybody.